This is absolutely massive. Maybe the biggest win-ish or win for the First Amendment versus big tech in the past several years. Yes, we had the Twitter files, which revealed to us that the Biden administration and the FBI, including field officers like Elvis Chan out of San Francisco, were telling Twitter who to censor, who to ban, who to platform, who to boost, who to deboost. And it was all at the direction of the Democrat Biden White House. But on top of that, we now have YouTube has just admitted the probably biggest bombshell in history. And I can't wait because I need to see a whole bunch of accounts getting restored in the next 24 hours. YouTube has now admitted that the Biden administration pressured them to censor Americans, offered and now has offered terminated channels an opportunity to rejoin the platform. Say what? This is massive. Thank you, Jim Jordan. Jim, due to our oversight efforts, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations to return to the platform. But that's not all. By the way, let's get into this. Thank you, everyone who has been joining over on the quartering.com/join, the members only Discord. We have a lot of people are asking for a tutorial on how to get into the chat room once you join. I'm doing a video this afternoon that'll walk you through that. But you get to talk directly to me and my staff and participate in all sorts of cool community stuff. We've got a costume contest. We've got a pumpkin carving contest going on. We've got self-defense stuff. We've got religion. We've got moms groups. We've got all sorts of stuff. So I hope I'll see you over at thequartering.com/join today. Tim Pool reacted by saying, I have requested that YouTube restore our Timcast IRL episode featuring Alex Jones and Joe Rogan following this news. The episode was banned 3 years ago after airing for incredibly dubious reasons related to, quote, medical misinformation. Here's King and Spalding, assuming some sort of law firm. Dear Chairman Jordan, the statement of facts is submitted on behalf of our client, YouTube, and its subsidiary, Google and YouTube, in response to subpoenas issued to the House Committee on Judiciary on February 15th, 2023, and March 6th, 2025. Throughout the committee's investigation, Alphabet provided responsive information to the committee to fulfill its oversight responsibilities, providing internal research, providing extensive testimony, including more than 40 sets of responsive documents and voluntary participation of 20 executives in transcribed interviews. Alphabet is a collection of businesses, the largest of which is Google. Alphabet's mission to organize the world's information, blah, 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 blah. Don't really care about these first couple statements. Here we go. The Biden administration and Alphabet. The coup was an unprecedented time in which online platforms had to reach decisions about how to best balance freedom of expression with responsibility, including responsibility with respect to the moderation of user-generated content that could result in real-world harm. Senior Biden administration officials, including White House officials, conducted repeated and sustained outreach to Alphabet and pressured the company regarding certain user-generated content related to the pandemic that did not violate its policies. While the company continued to develop and enforce its policies independently, the Biden administration officials continued to press the company to remove non-violative user-generated content. So the Biden administration was specifically responsible for getting people banned. So will people like Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones be reinstated? I would think so. I would think so. I mean, unless they had other violations, I'm not totally sure. As online platforms, including Alphabet, grappled with these decisions, the administration officials, including President Biden, created a political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how a company moderates its content, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts on First Amendment grounds. I would argue that this means, love them or hate them, that Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes and any of these, Dr. Robert Malone, these people they will all be and should all be unbanned. You know, that's what they're saying here, right? No matter the political atmosphere, YouTube will continue to enable free expression on its platform, particularly as it relates to issues subject to political debate. Political debate and discussion are in the public's interest, which is why YouTube expanded its approach to educational, documentary, and scientific and artistic content on the platform. In contrast to other large platforms, YouTube has not operated a fact-checking program that identifies and compensates fact-checking partners to produce content to support moderation. YouTube has not and will not empower fact-checkers to take action on or label content across the company's services. YouTube will also begin offering a feature on YouTube beginning in June 2024 that allows users to add notes. Well, we know about that. This was back on September 23rd. Oh, that's today. A feature on beginning in June 2024. All right, yeah, because we already know what happened. The company terminated channels for repeatedly violating its community guidelines on election integrity content through 2023 and the COOF content through 2024. Today, YouTube's community guidelines allow for a wider range of content regarding the COOF, election integrity, reflecting on the company's commitment to free expression. YouTube will now provide an opportunity for all creators to rejoin the platform if the company terminated their channels for repeated violations of the COOF and election integrity policies that are no longer in effect. Now, I don't know if they're going to say what the specific reason was for Alex's or Nick's banning, so maybe they won't, but certainly anybody from the COOF, the great COOF banning, no matter the political atmosphere, YouTube will continue to enable free expression on its platform, particularly as it relates to issues subject to political debate. Political debate and discussion are in the public's interest, which is why YouTube expanded its approach to educational, documentary, scientific, and artistic content on the platform. Now, this is probably in response to the rapid growth of platforms like Rumble, which does not ban people for having opinions that are not yet correct. In some cases, maybe they're never correct. You know, Rumble has very few rules, and yet they operate within Google Play's rules. So why does YouTube have a separate set of rules for YouTube than it does other programs using the exact same platform? YouTube values conservative voices on its platform and recognizes that these creators have extensive reach and play an important role in civic discourse. The company recognizes these creators are among those shaping today's online consumption, landing must-watch interviews, giving viewers a chance to hear directly from politicians, celebrities, business leaders, and more. The company terminated channels for repeatedly violating this content through 2024. Today, YouTube's, they allow for that. We talked about that. Also, the committee has taken important investigative steps to highlight that owners' obligations under laws such as the Digital Services Act and the Digital Markets Act may stifle innovation and restrict access to information. These laws place a disproportionate regulatory burden on American companies, and the company has long expressed its concern that the risk of the DSA may pose freedom of expression within and outside of European Union, depending on how certain provisions may be enforced. The DSA could be interpreted in such a way as to require Alphabet and other providers of intermediary services to remove lawful content, jeopardizing the company's ability to develop and enforce global policies. I mean, essentially they're saying, hey, look, there's a Digital Services Act, and then there's also these other countries that have laws and rules, things like that. YouTube also admits the Biden administration's censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong, confirms that the Biden administration wanted American censor for speech that did not violate YouTube's policies, details when YouTube began rolling back its policies on political speech after the GOP began its investigation, states that the public debate should never come at the expense of relying on authorities, promises to never use third-party fact-checkers, and warns that Europe's censorship laws target American companies and threaten the Americans' free speech. This is perhaps the biggest flip-flop on freedom of speech. This is the Trump effect. This is, it's hard to underestimate. This is really hard to, it's hard to overstate how big this is. Now, I'll believe it when, I'm trying to find I'm trying to find, because was it the Sandy Hook stuff? Reason, I'm gonna quick look. Reason Alex Jones banned YouTube. Let's see. What was the actual reason back in 2018? I'm sure NPR is going to be totally honest about it. Hate speech. YouTube and Facebook have previously warned Jones and Infowars that they were accumulating strikes for violating services community service standards. Early Monday, Facebook announced that. I'm trying to find the YouTube one. Not long after Facebook's move, YouTube said it too had taken action. Let's see. Upon review of taking a glorifying bad behavior which violates our dehumanizing language describing trans people or hate speech policies. I mean, I don't know, but you know, they banned him exactly 6 months before midterm elections. I'm gonna be pretty confident. I wonder. Let me see. Reason for Nick Fuentes YouTube ban. It's probably hate speech too, I'm guessing. For multiple or severe violations of the hate speech policy. So I don't know if they're going to go back on their hate speech stuff. They should. I don't know if that's going to be rolled into this, but certainly everybody should be unbanned. Everybody should be unbanned unless they knowingly, you know, committed crimes on the platform. This is a massive win for free speech. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that I will see you in the members section. We'll talk to you again real soon.